right, welcome back to the couch. You got yours, who the man right here itself. We got Jason Walden from ATL in the house with us today. We got the CEO Gameday, Morgan Smith, and we got
Me.
Mr. Vita High.
Good morning.
Hey, we're gonna do
How do you always say yours truly and then don't state your name? I've always wondered that.
because I'm the man right here.
All right.
Mr. 305.
AKA Mr. Trash Can.
You hear me? That's Mr. 305 right there with the diamonds from Hobby Lobby.
But man, the Morgan's up here today, and we're gonna give out the first annual Gameday Awards. I think it's pretty dope to give out certain individuals these awards that I feel like they achieved, they earned, and after we give these awards out, there's no point of harassing Morgan because what you felt like you should have got because Morgan didn't make these picks on his own. It was actually a committee that actually put their thoughts and votes in on these individual awards. So don't give him no flack because you may or may not have gotten an award that you felt like you should have had.
And I just want to point out that I'm not as white as I look on screen right now.
Wow. Y'all the shenanigans.
They have these lights turned all the way up.
The shenanigans.
Cue the song. And just want to say it's absolutely ridiculous right now that y'all have me up here looking like Casper.
Well, look at Donnie on the end.
I don't really care about Donnie.
He's... Unbelievable. Y'all the shenanigans are real, just so you know.
First off, I guess we're gonna get into the super teams. It was two kids from Texarkana. Both of them went to Texas High, and they made the Whataburger. Super team.
Yeah, man, it's a big deal across the state of Texas. I can remember Craig growing up dreaming about being on this team and never getting the call. But we had some players that did. Derek Brown, University of Texas commit, 4-star defensive end, all-around baller, Whataburger super team. My man Leonard Epps out of Longview High School. Y'all know we got Longview game day as well. Couldn't leave him off. Whataburger super team, defensive lineman. Braxton White, linebacker, Texas High, Whataburger super team. Shout out to those guys. That is a huge, huge deal in the state of Texas.
Congratulations.
It is.
It's seniors only as well. I was surprised by that. I thought they'd spread it out, but it's been a while since I've looked at it. But I got that call yesterday, and because my immediate thing was, why is Jalen Hill not on it? Same thing you asked me. And I said, well, it's seniors only on the super team. So you take the Whataburger super team, go play California super team, definitely Florida super team, coming away with that dub.
Yes. No.
Yes, you said it right the first time. You said it right the first time. Said it right the first time.
I'm just waiting.
I thought you was saying.
Oh, you already said yeah.
Florida super team would come away with the dub because that's what would happen.
No, that's not what would happen.
Okay.
Everybody likes to talk about IMG Academy and all this and that, getting the best players. You take the best players from Texas, best players from California, best players from Florida. I'm telling you, I'm taking Texas every year.
No doubt.
I'm going with Florida.
Why do we not?
Why do you even live here? Like, for real. You don't watch high school football in Florida. You don't know what they got.
I do.
I know Miami's trash. That's about it.
I know exactly what Florida has. I keep up with it. That's like my other job that I do throughout the day.
Keep up with high school players from Florida.
Yes, because they potentially could go to Miami.
They're not going to Miami.
Nobody's going
Nobody
to
is going to Miami.
You keep saying that. Nobody's going to Miami.
Oh, Lord. Delusional.
I can't talk to you. You, at one point this year, were rooting for Texas Tech. So we
Who was rooting for Texas Tech?
Yeah.
Texas Tech baseball. Let's go back and make
it was
TikTok.
Football too.
Go back and make it. Go back and
it was
look,
football
go back
too,
and look
so
at your notes. You never got me to say anything about
you,
football.
Texas Tech.
You want to argue? I can't argue with you.
I guess now we're gonna roll on to these Playmakers Awards.
Yeah, man. Playmaker Awards. They're typically going to be your first team all-district players. A lot of these haven't been released yet, with Gilmer still playing, Celebrity ILO, PG. But we'll go ahead and rock them. These Playmaker Awards are some of the ballers in our community. The Texarkana area. Hold on, we done skipped something.
That's not odd.
Hey, Donnie, put up one of the area leaders. That's what we forgot.
Oh, okay.
See, Donnie, you got me going too fast.
Hey, here we go, the area leaders.
Let's do one at a time.
That is true, Mr. Tyson.
I sent those to you yesterday. Why are you not in?
IMG Academy does have a lot of kids from Texas. They disperse those kids right back out across the country, though.
I'm disappointed, Donovan. Sorry, sometimes doesn't cut it. Why do I look so white and he doesn't?
Listen,
I'm tan.
He just got hair everywhere.
He's a shade or two darker than you, sir.
I will agree.
Or
the lights
three.
do make you look whiter than what you actually
Do you sit in the truck like Donnie?
are. No, actually.
Hey.
Somebody said North Lamar could beat Miami this year.
Oh, hey, now, I was the one who got your lights back on the other day.
You did. I was out of town. I appreciate that.
Okay.
My kids were at home crying and stuff.
Yeah,
Was
got-
you nice?
Took him about 3 hours.
it did. Hey, we had a massive tree on the transmission line.
You ready? All right. That doesn't look like one at a time. All right. Interceptions leader. This is all regular season. Cal Jones.
Yes.
If we did full season, it'd probably be what, Michael Thomas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, shout out to Michael Thomas. He committed
With
to
Yeah,
Lamar.
Lamar yesterday,
He
no
did
doubt.
commit to Lamar.
Tackles leader David McKeever out of Redwater.
Redwater.
And
Donovan.
Jalen Woodside, passing yards leader out of Hooks. Shout out
Woody.
to those young
Nice.
men.
Woodside.
See Tyson Jimerson's watching. What's up, Tyson? All right, that means the next ones.
Oh,
He'll be on Donovan's head today.
Me and Donovan are going to have a long conversation after this. I sent all this to him yesterday. Told him to load it. No, just go ahead and do three.
How many interceptions
Since you're
did
taking so
Cal
long.
Jones have on the year?
7.
yeah.
I think he had 3 against us.
Oh, wow.
I almost made a joke.
Just telling the truth.
Told you, Case and Lamb went off this year.
He did. That's my boy,
Excellent,
Mod.
he did. He had a good season.
For Mod.
He had like 2,207 yards total, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Brown leading in sacks. No surprise there.
At all.
What do you have? I know he was in double digits.
Oh, he's in double digits.
digits.
He was in double digits
Digits
in like
in-
week 6. Waiting on Donovan again. That's all of them? It can't be all of them. There's no way that's all of them. You know what, Donovan? I'm so embarrassed right now.
He's got out his handy dandy notebook and he is going to work.
Just hold on.
Morgan going through his phone, he had some more, I guess, some stats.
Donovan has all this. All right. We did tackles leader, interception leader, sacks leader, passing touchdown leader. Goes to Jalen Woodside.
Jalen
Oh,
Woodside.
yeah, nice.
15 of them jokers.
Come on now, Donovan. You should have had this up.
Rushing touchdown leader, Braylon Stewart.
The man.
Regular season, 23 touchdowns.
Wow.
Let's see. We don't need passing
Is that
yards.
Texas already?
Rushing yards leader, Braylon Stewart.
Mm.
And receiving touchdown leaderboard, Queon Ellison.
Q.
Q.
Where's he out of?
Queen City.
Oh, okay.
Now, real quick on that young man right there, that's a big shout out to the work he's put in. Last year he played JV football.
Oh, wow.
Went to work in the weight room, got better, had a remarkable season. Congrats to that young man for sure.
He also led in receiving yards.
Oh, yeah?
And I want to give a shout out to David Johnson. He played, 2 football games. He's
Yes.
still in the top 10 in receiving yards.
And what's crazy, if that young man didn't get hurt, there's no telling
What
what
he
type of
would've
numbers he would have put up.
That would have been insane.
Yep.
Hoping he can recover from that knee injury.
Which would have then turned around and skyrocketed Woodside numbers up some more.
Facts, as you say.
Wow.
All right. Now we're in the Playmaker Awards. So now let's start off. Coy Martin, defensive end. PG. Really athletic. Really quick. First step off the defense. He's not a huge kid, but first step off the lines.
Quick feet.
Elite, we will say.
Yeah, hard to block.
Corbin Franklin, defensive back, Pleasant Grove. Colin Manning, he had a good year.
He did.
Another defensive back. Cade Martin, have him down as a lineman and a punter.
He's one hell of a punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if he had some big award for that.
Yeah, he can flip the field.
Yep.
Punting the ball.
B.J. Rayfield led the team in tackles.
Lil Earl.
Yeah, that's my boy. Shout out to Lil Earl Jr.
Victor Shaw, the junior, several Division I offers. No surprise there. A kid that I didn't even know was going to play football this year. What I mean by that is he was on the team, but I didn't know if he was going to play. I wouldn't have bet money he was going to play. Jared Halter.
Oh.
Had a great year.
Had a great season. Shout out to Jared and the Halters for that, really.
Led the Hawks to a 4th round playoff appearance, which I'm going to be honest, I didn't see happening.
No.
I mean,
they overachieved, you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the right players, but even more than that, like great coaching this year by that staff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
And
Jared's a freshman, right?
Yeah, he is a freshman. Rylan Hopkins on the offensive line. Had a good football season. My boy Reese Elrod. Shout out to Reese, one of Gameday's favorite players, Walker's favorite player right now. It was Logan last year, Reese this year, and R.J. Collins. Had a great season. And I got JoJo Bailey down as, he's kind of all over the field, but as a utility player as well.
Yeah.
Had a great year. Donnie, you're supposed to be saying something nice.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a good year. I mean, hey, he had a good year.
I like the fact that you added something nice.
He did a lot of the
kind of hard to do when nobody's talking.
The bruising, as far as carrying the ball, he wasn't one of those finesse type of guys. He was one, hey, go up the middle and get what you can get.
Derek Brown. Oh, no, it's not Derek Brown. It's Donovan Brown. I'm glad you have something ready, Donovan. Nate Minnie, the SAU commit, tight end over at Texas High. Man, that team.
He had his knee scoped or something this week.
Yes.
Supposed to be back for baseball.
Yeah, he I think I don't know if it was the 4th round or 3rd round. He went out with a knee injury.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was hurting on it all year.
Yeah, he was.
To do what he did with the hurt leg, man, that's pretty impressive as well.
He is supposed to be back for baseball.
Michael Thomas, who I would say, I think area's best DB.
Yes, it's not even close.
I was wondering why you were making me say the entire thing. Like maybe you didn't know what position he played.
Hey, it's not even close. What I love about watching Michael didn't shy away from the best receiver. Like that's what he wanted to do was to cover. So regardless what side of the field was on, he followed the best receiver. A lot of guys not gonna do that, especially if the receiver is winning battles. He took the challenge. So I like that.
His head's always towards the football, which is pretty rare for a cornerback. If you go by the overall season, he led the area in interceptions. The Duke can ball. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't think starting the year he was a Division I football player. I believe he is. Well, he obviously is now.
Yeah.
Knack for the football, guarding the best receivers in the area. I really watched him hard during that scrimmage with Jalen Hill. And Jalen Hill got him one time.
Yeah.
But you figure that the number 1 wide receiver in next year's class, and he caught one pass out of like 7 or 8, and that's it.
Right.
So.
And you have to keep in mind, Michael stopped playing football after his 8th grade season, and he came back his junior year and still finished with a D1 offer. That's pretty amazing to me.
That's a talent. That's impressive.
Dude can play. How about old John Jack?
Old John Jack, the big left tackle. No, he was right tackle. That was the most improved lineman in Texarkana.
Oh, wow.
At the beginning of the season, you was like, Coach, why is he out there? And then,
Well, I felt like that after week 1 with about everybody.
yeah. And then as season went on, that individual got better and better and better. He improved a lot. So shout out to John Jack.
Javaris Tyson, one of the hardest hitting linebackers ever.
Yes, well, later Wood, Daddy Wood. And even that kid, he made an amazing jump from his junior year to his senior year, because I was kind of skeptical of him, because he was always would call me, how I do at the junior year. I was like, well, quite honestly, you didn't do anything. And everything finally clicked for him this year, so he was one of the better linebackers in the city.
Jalen Jones.
Jones
looks like he's 6'7" playing safety.
He's a nice sized individual back there at safety. He's hard nosed. He will put that helmet on you. He had a good year.
Darren Finley, another playmaker.
Yeah, that's big. The middle linebacker, Texas. No, he played outside last year. They decided to move him inside this year, so he pretty much was signal caller. And he had one hell of a senior year.
He did. One of my favorite players to watch, Brandon Childs. For an interior defensive lineman, the amount of tackles he makes, it's kind of unreal.
Yeah, he's a hard-nosed. To me, he reminded me of one of my old school linemen. It's really nothing he's going to do as far as with athletic ability that's going to be, like, special. But he's a football player.
Yeah. There are differences between there's athletes and there's football players.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how I would categorize him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a football player, and I just don't at that level. I don't know if I saw anybody stop him this year.
No, it was hard. He was one of the, if not the best. Well, he was the best D tackle in his area, I believe.
Yeah, he's coming back too.
Mm-hmm. He's on the junior.
Man, that's gonna be wild next year. Shout out, Mr. Childs. Richard Jackson, center.
Actually, Big Richard, he kind of surprised me. I used to coach him in Little League. I didn't expect him to be as big as he is. But he did a hell of a job taking on, those bigger guys on the defensive front throughout the season. And of course, the center is like the field general as far as on the line. You got to get everything correct.
Yeah. A guy that started playing about midseason, Kevontae Featherson.
Oh my God.
Had a great year.
He did.
Wish they'd had him all season. Duke and ball.
Man, he came, especially like at the back end of the season when he finally got his footings, when he finally, caught up with the speed of the game. And he's one of the best out there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Congrats, Ian.
He's a senior.
He's a senior, yeah. Holds an offer from Kansas State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quashawn McCullough, who I think is probably size, speed, strength, the combination of it all, one of the top offensive linemen in the area.
Yes. I'm going to say he is the top. I don't think there's an offensive lineman in this area that's better than Quashawn. His demeanor and the way he plays is a little bit different. And because his attitude, that's what I love the most, his attitude.
And can't not mention Brayson McHenry.
You can't. You can't.
A lot more lethal with his feet this year than he was the previous year. Dude, just all-out baller. I hope we wish him nothing but the best going forward. Hopefully he finds a good landing spot for himself.
Has he had any offers yet?
Yeah, he has several offers. It's just this transfer portal thing's hurting high school players.
It's killing it.
Let's switch it over to Liberty Ilo. W.T. Jones balled out this season.
W.T.
Definite playmaker.
Now, which one is that? Is that the oldest one? Or
I think that's the younger
That's
one.
the younger one.
Yeah, dude can ball. Both of them are ballers.
Yeah.
But it's like W.T., I've seen him play wide receiver. He plays defense. I know he plays special team. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've ever seen him come off the field. I'm sure he does.
I think he kicks off, too.
I think he kicks,
I think
too.
it's his brother.
Is that his brother?
Is that
Yeah.
Cal?
I got you.
Yeah, I think Cal kicks.
That's a pretty nice hire.
But he
for
probably
LA.
does kick, too. Who knows? He's probably the backup kicker. They do it all. One of my favorite players to watch, Tracy Revels. Definite playmaker.
Yeah.
Dude brings the wood on every play.
Yeah.
He can ball.
Yeah, he's a D1 prospect. He holds at least one D1 offer from Arkansas State.
And Michael Riley, he has an offer from University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, I believe he's
committed. Yeah.
Yes.
Great senior season. Just all around great football player. Excited for him at the next level. I'm going to say this wrong, but Keanu Shepard. Am I saying it wrong? No? Anyway, Playmaker. You're not arguing with me, so I'm assuming I said it right.
That's the wrong person if you were saying something wrong, though.
Shout out to that, man.
Just be real.
Playmaker. Chris Lewis, wide receiver, number 6. Man, the ball in that kid's hands, he can ball.
Yes, he's electric. Yes.
I really like watching him play. At Arkansas High, Logan Williams, all-conference player. I believe he plays both ways. Christian Stewart, all-state punter in the state of Arkansas.
Yes.
Couldn't not have him as a playmaker. Christian Torres, Johnny Murphy, Miles McBay. Johnny Murphy was actually the cover boy for Arkansas High for us this year. Dude, all them guys can actually bomb. We want to give a shout-out to all of our playmakers. And we're going to get over into the MVP categories. Donovan, don't put it up yet, but we're going to start with special teams MVP. And as Donnie was telling y'all earlier, there was a committee that voted on all these. Wasn't just me, so y'all don't be killing me here in a little bit. But I think they did a really good job picking the people that deserve the awards for the right reasons. And with that being said, Donnie, you ready to get started?
I'm ready to get started, man.
All right, let's do it. Special teams MVP. When it pops up. Keelan Benton.
Keelan Benton, they call him G-Baby.
That dude had a good football season. Let's say he had a great football season. And I shot his signing out video with him yesterday. And he didn't have a whole lot of varsity. Well, I say a whole lot, really no varsity experience.
No, this was his first year.
Yeah. And it just makes you think, like, how does that happen? You know, I mean, as great as he played, but sometimes you just peak late.
Mm.
I listened to him talk about his little league career, middle school career, and all that, and his high school career is just kind of waiting around.
First time.
Yeah, waiting for his time. Made the best of it. I wonder how. I can't off the top of my head. I don't know how many kick returns and punt returns he ran back.
I think he ran either 3 or 4, but he was always a tackle away from breaking a whole lot more.
Yeah, he's
Right.
definitely flipped the field.
Yeah.
I mean, punting to him, you might as well just went for it.
Yeah. Again, man, he came with a different mind frame this year. No, this was it. I think he had a whole lot of things that he wanted to prove.
Accomplished yet.
In which I believe everything he set out to prove, he proved. He was the one who had the hard tackle. So he wasn't just a special teams player, even though he was dynamic with it. He the one who made the big play against Librealo.
He told us that's his favorite play in football.
Yes, that's my favorite play of the season. That alone.
Anyway, shout out to Mr. Benton. And let's do kicker of the year. Let's switch over to that. Kicker of the year is going to go to Austin Miller. I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
No.
First-time football player. Actually committed somewhere to play soccer.
Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, he was by the end of the season, he was kicking them out of the back of the end zone. Nobody was even returning kicks on them
No.
at all.
You couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, he was kicking them at
You
least 5 yards deep into the end zone every single time. His field goal percentage was great.
Mm.
I mean, for someone who's never played football, never picked up a football, learning how to kick, starting in July or whatever it was, I would say he had a phenomenal season.
This is a fun fact about Austin. Texas High just scored, and of course the kickoff team was on the field. Everybody was waiting and waiting. They was calling Austin's name. He was on the far end sitting down. And finally, when the coach ran and said, "Hey, you got a kick," he like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Yeah, he did. he didn't know anything about football.
So real fresh.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he does know about. He's helped Gameday out a lot on TikTok making videos.
Yeah.
Dude can do it. But shout out to him. This next award, I think one of the most intriguing awards because it opens up a lot for players at different positions, and that's our Impact Player of the Year. And I think another one that's not going to be a surprise at all Cal Jones,
Yeah.
very deserving of that award.
Yes.
Played both
Very
sides of the
much so.
ball. We had looked at him for maybe newcomer of the year, but the impact award just made a lot of sense for Cal to get that. I mean, playing both ways, multiple positions. He's one of those players that, like, if you take off of a team, you lose your kicker, you lose your starting DB, you lose a starting wide receiver / quarterback. You know, I mean, he plays everything. So that award made a lot of sense. And on top of that, dude can ball.
Yes, he can
ball.
play.
He can actually do, but the tenacity and the mental capacity of Cal and WT is just insane. That's what they know and that's what they love.
And he's just always in position.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Like, you go watch highlights of
Just
him.
happens to be in the right
Yes.
position at the
It's
right
like,
time. Absolutely.
You know, interceptions, especially in high school football, a lot of them are just luck because there's ducks flying up in the air. How many times have you seen somebody standing there waiting on the ball, catching it like a punt? Cal's going and getting it. He's almost like he's baiting somebody to throw it. Like, I dare you to throw this ball, you know? But let's do newcomer of the year. And
Caden
McFadden.
Nice.
Yes. Hey, I took that
Nice.
picture, by the way.
That's a dope picture.
And I took
Actually,
that picture,
I
by the
took.
way.
Matter of fact,
That's a dope picture.
I took all these pictures. So shout out to me on that. Caden McFadden had a great football season, 3 defensive touchdowns, and he didn't start playing till week 3, something like that. Made a move, put him back there. I mean, Donnie, you know him better than I do. Tell us a little bit about it.
Man, he's a hard-nosed football. He has D1 potential. If you ask me, he has the size. He just a hard-nosed football player. Actually, when they put him against Surratt, that's when he first made his debut for his varsity, and he was instantly known that he was on the football field. And of course, he had a few. He returned an onside kick also this year. I'm not quite sure who the team was, but they tried an onside kick. He caught on the bounce and got out of there. But Caden is a very talented kid, only a sophomore, so he still has 2 more years.
His athleticism.
Outstanding young man, too.
Insane.
Yes,
No doubt. Very respectful.
yes, he's a great kid. You can't ask for a better kid than Caden.
And my youngest son played baseball with him growing up a little bit. And, man, I'm going to tell you, if you think he's good on the football field,
Wait
see
till
him on
you
the
get him a
diamond,
baseball.
too.
Yes, he's a hell of a baseball player. Yes.
That he is.
Most underrated speed in the area, but people's about to find out.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Like, football speed's different than track speed.
It is.
Oh, no doubt.
You know?
It is.
Yeah.
But man, now we got our MVP awards, and everybody on this list here is going to get trophies. We have offense, defense, and our overall MVP. They will obviously get larger trophies. Kind of excited to see them. I hadn't seen them yet. I'm going to pick those up today. But let's start off with, what do you want, defense or offense?
Defense.
Defensive MVP, Derek Brown.
Derek Brown,
Whataburger super team member, leader in sacks in our area,
the district MVP.
district
Yeah,
MVP, all-around baller.
Going to Texas. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yes, that was for 2 of us up here. Sorry.
Just taking Corey's spot with the.
Because even Derek Brown, going to this year, I was kind of like, well, it's like wait and see for me, because he had that bad man on the other side, Clayton
with
Smith.
that's right.
So I was like, well, Clayton acquired a whole lot of attention, which kind of freed him to kind of make plays. Okay, so I was like, okay, let's see what he's gonna do without Clayton. And he did every bit of what he did
It
last
came right
year.
out from under the wing, straight out.
That
And he
youngster
was
can
double
play.
teamed most games.
Yes,
That's
and held every other play.
Yeah. Well, when he started wearing that elbow thing, gave him something to hold on
Yeah.
to. And then he put a sock over it thinking that was going to help. Well, that ain't going to help. It's going to make it where
Easier.
people aren't going to be able to see you. They're holding on to you. Anyway, shout out to Derek Brown. I don't think that was any I think if you knew football in our area, you knew he was getting that.
He's a very special talent.
Very deserving.
Offensive MVP. Man played a big role in his football team, Jalen Bordley. He's one of those guys, you take him off of that team,
Changes the whole dynamic.
it changes everything.
Yep.
I don't know how many touches he had off the top of my head, but I think somewhere around 1,300 yards. And those are against 2 number 1s, 4 top 5 teams. So literally playing against the best every week. Shout out to Jalen Boardley, just a sophomore.
You're just a sophomore.
Wow.
And ranked 76th best player in the country in his class, most highly recruited player, already a 4-star if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because even though he's getting the offense MVP, he was just impactful on the defense side of the ball.
yeah, he did play a little defense.
Yes, he
didn't
did.
I forgot about that. Kind of after the Carthage game, everybody started playing both ways, it seemed like. All right, for the big award, we have our most valuable player for the entire Texarkana area. And no surprise on this at all. Kid had an unbelievable football season. I wasn't ready yet. Unbelievable football season. I was hyping it up like they didn't know. Maybe they had been watching, they didn't know who this kid was. He was within 30 yards of breaking the Texas High rushing record.
Yep.
Keep in mind they had a team cancel on him. If he played that game, he would have owned the rushing record.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And that's what's one of the most frustrating things for me, for
that
him.
part is that he didn't get a chance.
But I think 1,988 rushing yards, another 45 receiving, like 30 touchdowns. His long of the year was 91 yards. He broke 7 over 50, 4 over 60 for touchdowns. As the season went on, he got more and more elusive. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a guy run into the middle of the defense and come out untouched.
Yeah, I talked to him last night a little bit, and I've just been honest. I say, man, going and watching your junior year, I said, okay, he can play. And of course, there was a lot of hype around his name. I was like, well, I don't quite see it yet. Well, I saw it.
Yeah.
He was every bit of good as what everybody was trying to, promote him as. Even though I think he made a hell of a jump from his junior to senior year, as far as the way he ran the ball, he was just different. I'm not quite sure the game, but it was at Texas. I was at Graham, and he did something in amongst of a crowd of defenders, and he got out of there and he took it to the house 70 yards. He did a D1 move that you don't see too much in high school.
I mean, I'd love to know, and I know they don't keep this stat, but I would love to know yards after touch. That dude you cannot arm tackle him.
No.
And you see a lot of guys you can arm tackle. I'm not going to mention any names, but, they just get arm tackled a lot, and he's not one of them.
Nope.
I mean, you're going to have to meet him in hole and bring everything you got with him. But like you said, he made a big jump. He was injured his junior year. I was there the night he had that concussion. I thought he broke his leg or something. I mean, it was the worst concussion I've ever seen, because I thought he had a broken leg, and for it to be a concussion, he couldn't walk.
They dragged his toes off the field.
Yeah, I mean,
they put arms around, and literally his cleats were dragging across the field when they brought him off.
That obviously affected him the rest of the season.
It did.
And man, senior year, just couldn't be happier for him.
No, he was by far the best running back in a 150-mile radius. If you ask me, from Texarkana, I don't see how anybody even close to Texarkana can even utter the words. And another thing about the record, the guy that got the record of Texas High, the rushing yards, that was 16 games.
Yeah, I don't ever bring that up, but yeah. People tend to get mad when you say stuff like that.
But it's the truth. That was 16 games.
They say things like, "Oh, football was tougher when I played. Oh, we played better teams." That's the type of things people start saying when you start saying, "Oh, well, you played 16 games."
Yeah, and he did it in what, 13? Minus 13 games.
Yeah.
But he had
And I just want to remind everybody, those first 2-3 games, and this is not a knock on anybody, but that offense just wasn't clicking.
Yeah, the line,
his offensive line
was horrendous.
Wasn't what they are by the end of the season. So all these factors, and plus just that one canceled game. Ronnie says it was 15 games back then.
Oh, okay.
All right, but give him 2 more games, and he might have had the city record, which is 22:01, held by Trey. But
no, hey, my opinion, if that game didn't get canceled, he would have had the city game. The city.
I don't think he'd have played past halftime.
but you don't know the amount of yards he could have
Well, I
piled
mean,
up.
I know Stanford,
Yeah,
and you know,
Take him out.
I know he's going to take him out.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So I would say an easy $150, but he only plays quarter and a half,
Yeah.
maybe 2. Because that would just be the right thing to do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because, I mean, they would have won that bigger than
yeah.
bigger
Big
than
large
big.
margin. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And even if he didn't take him out, it'd been over by halftime anyway. And, you know, not a knock on them. It's just Texas was that good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and man, like I talk about it all the time, this transfer portal. I don't know if y'all are listening to me. I know people like, especially older people. Like you see older people, and this is what I hear all the time. Oh, why don't these guys stay committed to the schools they're at? And they're always leaving. There's no loyalty anymore. They don't understand that these colleges are forcing people to leave.
That's true.
They're looking in this transfer. If you have a cornerback, let's just say, for instance, an Alabama cornerback, because that's an easy one everybody can understand, and he wants to transfer to Arkansas. Okay, somebody's getting got on Arkansas's roster.
Yeah, somebody's yeah.
Somebody's getting cut, and they can do that in college football.
You can.
Yep.
And people tend to think like, "Oh, you signed; they owe you 4 years."
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
It's
The
year to year.
college is the crook.
And some
The
places
sooner
say
y'all
it's
start
by
realizing that,
semester.
the better. And that's real. I mean, people 50 and older, like my dad was like, well, why is Landon transferring? And Landon's wasn't this way, but it's like, you know, you got to realize he didn't commit. Like the school name means nothing.
Yes.
You know, it
That's
means something if you're
facts.
a fan, but if you've been
Facts.
there 4 months, you know, you don't love LSU.
No.
Right.
You know, you went there because they won a championship. They had championship pedigree. You like the coach, and all of a sudden, none of those things exist.
Preach.
You know, so what are you
Yes.
supposed to do? You know what I mean? A guy comes in who doesn't run the style defense that you're going to play in. He, you know, let's just assume Brian Kelly's telling people, hey, you know, let's just say you're not a fast outside linebacker. In his defense, you got to be super fast.
Yeah.
He ain't going to keep a scholarship for
Right.
you. You know,
Right.
So, and then just the entire transfer portal, what it's doing to high school, like. Before y'all talk about like, oh, this kid's not D1, this or that, like you got to understand, Braylon Stewart is a Division I running back.
I don't doubt.
Period.
Like there is no question about it. He holds Division I offers. But my main question is, why is he not committed yet? He's not committed because of the transfer portal.
All right.
The transfer portal is horrible for high school football. They're going to wait and see who all transfers because would you rather have a 21-year-old college running back with 2 years of experience, or would you rather have an unknown kid who you don't know really their attitude? There's a lot of unknowns. Which one are you going to pick?
I'm going to
And the
21-year-old.
biggest question to me is how is the long-term effects on this going to take place? Because we've just now getting into scratching the surface with NIL money.
Right.
You know, I mean, I hate to say this, but like University of Texas, very big booster clubs.
Right.
You know, we're putting out $50,000 for linemen. You know, you're seeing transfer portal go crazy. I mean, it's going to be interesting for the next few years for sure.
So what's going to happen is you're going to see what high school football is down. I'm not talking about the 5-star guys. I'm talking about the 4-star and below guys. Here's what's going to happen. Division II is going to become the new high school.
It is.
They're going to start recruiting out of Division II schools. And then these high school kids, they have to go Division III or Division II. And so the level of football and the level of competition is about to be really, really high. Kids that would never go to Henderson State. A kid that would never go to Henderson State is now having to go to Henderson State.
Yeah.
All right, what is that going to do to that particular program in that area?
It's going to boom it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
and you're gonna, and I'll tell you, I know this is happening right now for a fact. Had a long conversation with someone about it. Your mid D1 teams, I'm going to use Lamar University as an example because we have a kid here and he's up there, so my eyes pop.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I'm using this university. All right, they're going to have kids who are not going to get awards postseason because they're hiding them from big Division I colleges. Does that make sense?
And it
Because these
does.
Division I colleges, they aren't watching Lamar University
is.
play football. They're
They
going
are
to go. Who's the MVP of that conference? He's always a sophomore. somebody get me some film on that kid.
Yeah.
You know,
But
versus hey, this Braylon Stewart kid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
but in
that's
the world of
facts.
social media, can you hide people anymore?
I think you can.
You can.
It depends.
Because those recruiters, the main thing is you want young, but you got to be good every year. Like one bad year now at a big university, you get fired. And I'm not talking about like a New Mexico State, a school like that. Like they got what they got. But when you talk Oklahoma, Texas, A&M, the big universities, you get fired. You make too much money to lose.
Right.
If that makes sense. So that's what's best for them, and that's what they're going to do. I think it's wrong. And the only reason I think it's wrong because we didn't grow up with it being that way.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, and I feel like it's really, really unfair. And what I've learned over the last few years with, you know, they can just cut kids really for no reason just because, you know, all this other kid's better than you and you're 4 months into your scholarship. You know, there's just inherently there's something wrong with that to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying you got to keep somebody 4 years, but people don't understand. You hear it all the time. Like, oh, this guy, they aren't loyal anymore, this or that. Well, like.
It doesn't have anything to do with loyalty.
Yeah, I mean.
It has nothing to do with loyalty.
Who's loyal to who, really?
Nobody.
You know?
At the end of the day, nobody.
But I went on my rant. But it is my favorite week of the year. State championship football. And unfortunately, I'm not there covering, you know, anybody. I'm covering all the games, but not covering one of my teams, which kind of sucks. But I was really hoping. I thought Texas High was going to be there.
Yeah, I did too.
But did you see what Liberty Hill did to Crosby?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did.
There's no good way to
Silence.
say it.
There's none of us.
There's no good way to say what I want to say.
You got it, Morgan. Come on, figure it out.
I'll say this. I'm going to use Tyson as a good example. I'd rather not play for a state championship than get beat by 60 points.
Yes, because that's what's going to happen to them. There's no way that particular team, you know, because they run a gimmick offense, you know, kind of like you got to be in position at the right time. You got to do your assignment. But Oak Cliff is bigger, faster, and more skilled by a large amount. I think it's going to be a massive blowout, kind of similar to that 4A Division II.
Liberty Hill? Nah, see, Johnny, I'm going to have to disagree. I don't think that's going to be a blowout at all.
You don't think so?
Liberty Hill has an explosive offense. I mean, they run the style offense you can't stop. You just hope they turn the ball over a couple times and you match it.
That may be one of the better games of the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I just think Oak Cliff is just too big up front. They're and
They must come out the gate with some power, though.
I understand why you're saying what you're saying, but I don't think you've
Just
seen
come out the
Liberty
gate
Hill.
with some power.
I haven't. I have, but I haven't. I didn't put much thought in them because I feel like Texas I was gonna end up seeing them. Then I was gonna do my little study on them.
Well, Liberty Hill's been there.
Yeah,
Been there, done that. Liberty Hill. I just don't. I don't think it's a game you can pick one or the other. I mean, this is going to be one of the better state championship games. South Oak Cliff. There's going to be 50,000 people at this football game at an 11 a.m. football game.
It's about to be packed.
And
I'm gonna say it could be 50-50, or I give Dallas the edge, Oak Cliff the edge, as far as
it's this is what happens. An underserved community in the Dallas area.
Mm-hmm.
They finally get facilities.
Right.
People want to stay. They don't want to transfer to Duncanville. They don't want to transfer to Allen. They have nice facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has changed.
They've invested
And
the money.
look at what's happened in a super short amount of time.
Yeah, I was about to say, how long did it take for them to get to this point, though?
I read an article the other day. They just got a practice field last year. They just got their own practice field.
Mm. And see, they even, I don't know. That's why I give them the edge, because they're a team stacked with D1 talent. Like in the back end, their secondary, all four of those guys has Power 5 conference offers. I'm sure majority. I'm not quite sure the classification. They juniors or seniors. I'm sure some of them is signed as we speak right now. I don't know. I just think overall they have a better. And the only team that beat them this year was Duncanville.
I'm not saying South Oak Cliff's going to lose.
And Duncanville.
I'm just saying you made it seem like it wasn't going to be close.
I don't think so. I don't think it is.
I mean, we'll see. I just don't. If a team's averaging, like, keep in mind, South Oak Cliff's putting up a lot of points, which means Liberty Hill's going to have the football.
Yeah.
I mean, at worst, I think 14. If it's more than 14, I'm really surprised.
I'm just going to say this. In 17, when PG won his first state title, PG played the number one ranked team as far as offensive-wise, which was Graham, Texas. In the semifinals, they was averaging 60-some points. Quarterback had outrageous number, had 2 receivers, well over 1,000 yards, and running back with almost 2,000 yards. They didn't look so well against PG.
Well, I mean,
they had 5 D1 dudes
No,
on the
you can
defense
say they
side of
didn't
the
look so
ball.
well.
Yeah, I'm just saying they didn't look so well against PG. PG made them look like a Division III school. Like they destroyed that offense. And of course, you had some sports writers giving Graham the edge because they quote unquote thought their offense was so explosive that PG couldn't stop it. Well, PG stopped it and then some.
we'll see. But I do know Crosby could ball.
Yeah.
And I do
Yeah.
know they held them to 7 points.
Yeah.
And they put up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so let's just keep all that in mind. I'm going to be in house for that thing. I have a thing with Dave Campbell Magazine from like 8 to 10. I'm going to head straight over to the stadium after that. And I'm going to enjoy all day of football.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I want this Duncanville coach to get a state championship so
So
bad.
bad.
Hey, he had one in the bag. Long Hail Mary. That has to suck.
You know he's lost 5 of them.
Has he?
He's lost
I
5
didn't know
state
that.
championships, yeah. And 2 of them on the last play of the game.
Shut
I
your
didn't know that.
mouth.
I watched one. I watched one live, and I still couldn't believe that. I still this day can't believe that
You
happened.
know, I watched the Longview game was right before that. I watched the Longview game. I watched that game all the way till mid of the 4th quarter, and I was like, man, I was looking around. I don't know how many people were there. There was a lot.
Yeah.
I was like, it was almost like a Cowboy game. Man, let's go ahead and get out of here so we got to fight traffic because it was a night game. And I put it on my phone, and I'm in about Rockwall whenever they throw that bomb. And I'm sitting here just like, this happens to me all the time. So when the Cowboys were down 28 points to Atlanta last year, I get mad at Cowboy games. If the Cowboys aren't going to win, I get mad and leave. Like, it makes me furious. And
Are you serious?
Yeah, that I drove all the way here for them to suck. And I left. And
Oh, Lord,
these
the
MFers come back and win. The largest comeback of all time in the NFL. And I just left.
Patience.
No, they were getting beat bad.
Morgan's like, nope, I'm leaving.
Hey, when you're getting beat 28 points in the first half, I'm out of there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I didn't come to watch Atlanta play. I came to watch the Cowboys play. And they weren't
They
playing.
pick and choose when the Cowboys play, though, Morgan.
Hey, that ain't happening this year.
Okay. Hey, so with the
You must be
Gilmer,
a Saints fan.
No, I'm not an anybody fan, but I do not.
How you going to be talking mess then if you're a nobody
Because I
fan?
don't like the Cowboys because they forget which way to run the ball. They forget which way to run the ball. They forget which way color their team jerseys are. Come on, you want me to go? Let's go.
hey, but
You're not a fan of anybody, so you
No,
really
but I'm
you have
definitely not.
you can have no
okay,
opinion.
but
If you're
hold
not
on
a fan of
second.
anybody, you
But
can have
you
no
root for
opinion.
Texas Tech
But
in
I'm
college.
I'm like Donnie. I don't have to have. I do not root for Texas Tech. I'm like Donnie. I don't have to like a team.
Why is it you're either a Cowboys fan
Or a hater.
or you hate the
Hater.
Cowboys?
She's a hater.
Because some people, man, they
I
just
don't hate the Cowboys. It's not
she
my
just
fault
said
they
it.
can't
She's
figure
a
out
hater.
why, which team
She's
to
a
throw the
hater.
ball to.
listen. If you're basing everything on Super Bowls,
I'm not basing everything on Super
Okay,
Bowls.
well-
Let's talk about regular play, though, Morgan. Let's just talk about a regular old Sunday game. How many times can the Cowboys get confused and not know which way they're going and which way the ball's supposed to be going?
I mean, they're looking pretty dang good this year
Yeah, this year.
and last year.
And for 2 weeks this year, y'all lost, what, 2 games
16?
back to back? Yeah, 2 games
Yeah,
back.
they'll do the injuries though.
I mean, if you look at the Tom Brady era,
Is that what you
I
would
don't.
say if it was Miami? Oh, we lost due to injuries?
Yes, because that's part of the game.
Okay,
Injuries
you
part of
be
the game.
quiet over here,
Injuries
Mr.
part-
Miami.
injuries-
Don't talk
injuries
to me.
is
Y'all
part of
didn't
the
play
game.
Alabama. Your season started after Alabama. I'm not even talking to you.
Miami is trash.
Hey, so
Hey, and
what,
evidently they gave this coach an $80 million contract and took money from the teachers.
that's
You
not
know,
that's
that part-
hey,
That's what the
hey,
article said.
Hey, like Donald Trump used to say, that's fake news.
Who is this lady? They run the wrong way. Jeremy Curtis. My
Hey,
name is
that's
Davita
fake
Hine.
news.
Y'all do run the wrong way.
But hey, so
dramatics
what
of a
are your
Cowboys
thoughts on this
fan.
Gilmer and Chandler Springs?
So I saw the first half of Gilmer Salina. Well, first half and some of Gilmer Salina. Gilmer looks good, man.
Yeah.
Like, they look good. I can't get over them beating Carthage and Gilmer losing by 21. That's the common opponent, but it's midseason. I don't really know how to feel about it.
Yeah, see,
Like I'm gonna take Gilmer because I know what they got, but I really don't know what China Springs has.
I'm going to tell you this, and people and my kids can verify it because they were sitting next to me. When Carthage and China Springs met midfield for the coin toss, I looked at both my boys. I said, Carthage is fixing to get beat. They have got some dudes, and I mean some freak kids. They look like, to me, a Texas High at the 4A D2 level. I mean, they're solid. Now, I do hope that Gilmer wins because they're more local than what China Springs is, but I mean it's an uphill battle for them.
Right.
Now I'll say this here. When they met Surratt, that's what I don't call them I just call them Surratt. When they met Surratt, just saying it was mid-season, and I don't necessarily believe the team was going. Everything wasn't fine-tuned yet. Towards the back end of the season, we witnessed the real Gilmer that everybody thought was gonna be like this year.
Yeah.
I gotta go with Gilmer.
I don't think they're not going to have more athletes on the field than Gilmer.
No.
I think it's going to like that line. What is, like he said, like what is making China Springs? Why are they there? And is this another thing where, like, I don't want to throw shade at some of these other regions, but man, some of them are just trash.
Yeah,
they really are.
That is true.
And people are like, well, these are the top 2 teams in the state. First off, no, they're not the top 2 teams in the state. Gilmer is the top 2 team in the state.
Right, absolutely.
China Springs, I didn't even know who you were.
Who are
until 2 weeks ago.
said that. We were like,
I never
China,
even heard of you.
Where is that?
What people don't realize is whoever wins against PG and Gilmer in round 4 is playing for a state championship. It's not a knock on any of these other teams. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
but in this other area, I thought nobody's going to beat Carthage. That's Carthage side of the state championship. You don't want to put Gilmer, PG, and Carthage all on the same side. It wouldn't make sense because whoever they play is going to lose in the state championship.
Going
game.
down, right.
And you're robbing people of a Carthage Gilmer state championship or a Carthage Pleasant Grove state championship. So China Springs, if they'd beat anybody but Carthage, I'd probably have no respect for them.
Right.
Yeah, see, and I believe that's where a lot of
Carthage was
respect is coming
Carthage.
from. Because who they knocked off.
Right.
China Springs is going to line up and run the ball, and they're going to punch them in the mouth. They better be ready.
Yeah, see,
Well, that's the thing, man. I've watched this. People run the ball. I'm gonna run the ball against Gilmer. It just hadn't worked out so well.
It hasn't worked out. It hasn't worked out, and then I'm pretty positive there's nobody in China Springs secondary that can handle that receiver Gilmer has.
All right, so the Fluellen kid can ball.
Yes.
Number 2, that kid can ball.
Yes.
Like, obviously, they had. So I was at the game. Stayed first half, maybe 3 or 4 minutes second. They had him double teamed every play. I think he had 9 catches, 185 yards. The Fluellen kid. I mean,
And he's a junior.
Yes.
can you imagine double teaming somebody and them going for $185? I'd be embarrassed.
Just imagine they didn't. Just imagine they didn't.
Everything he was doing was 15 passes caught around the 15-yard mark, and him just making people look dumb.
You put you somebody number 2 because
Is
I
it Parker?
don't
Parker,
necessarily
yeah.
know
Parker
who
Gill?
He had that one-handed catch.
Yes.
Gillo? Is that
Yeah.
that's what I
That,
thought.
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah.
I seen it on
He-
TikTok.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a catch.
That was a great catch.
Made on ESPN.
That was great.
I mean, it did really. I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that.
I ain't gonna be out here promoting it. I didn't submit it. I just want to say out loud. But it was on there.
So just FYI, when Gilmer comes into next year and you kind of do a pregame deal, you're going to see the name Tennyson again.
Yeah.
His younger brother's a freshman,
Oh wow.
and I'm telling you,
He's
the
ball.
cat can go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
He already
Yeah.
has a Division I offer from UTSA. Stacked.
I was
Yes.
waiting.
And
on
he
him
has
to
like
say
Gilmer.
best school in Texas. The
Gilmer's
original
been stacked
Texas.
since I was in. They knocked us out of the playoffs, all over a tunnel screen. Wasn't on my side of the ball.
What year did you graduate?
2003.
Okay.
So
Ooh-wee.
yeah, I mean Gilmer. I want to not like Gilmer.
Right, but you can't
You know, I can't.
I'm
but-
with
because they
you.
got too
I'm
many
with you.
things stacked in the right with
But,
Rick
I
going
mean,
in the
they
right
just,
direction.
you know, and you typically don't like teams that are good for reasons. But like, I don't like Gilmer as a player, but as a media dude, I ain't got no beef. with
Yeah.
Gilmer, you know, but they can go.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is when Traylor come in there, Gilmer was at the bottom. He come in here and turn the program around, and now we're, 5-6 years away from trailer, and the guys have just picked up where he left off
And
kept
just
going.
kept pushing the program.
Yep.
I know, but isn't that great?
You know what I want to see? So Westlake plays Geyer at 7 o'clock Saturday night, and Westlake's gonna blow them out.
Right.
It's gonna be terrible. I want to see Westlake play the winner of Duncanville and North Shore. I think they could put that game on national television on ESPN, and it would get more views than some of these bowl games.
True.
Yes.
Probably so.
True.
Westlake, I think, is the best team in the state of Texas. I really do.
And I'm sure, like, far as the size differential, it's not too much.
Oh, see, in 6A, they do what they did back in the day. Like, certain team, like, what is it, 2 teams in 6A or maybe 3, and then they decide who's big and small based on who made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're not they might be the same.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So I'd love to see Westlake because Westlake played Southlake last year. Southlake would have played North Shore if they'd have beat Duncanville. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they wouldn't even have played Westlake this year. So I'd love to see. That's one of those games. I wish they would just do that. Even let the UIL do it.
I mean,
Do it like a Texas bowl game style thing. Play it January 1st on a Saturday or December 31st on a Friday.
Line up all classifications and let them roll.
Let them go.
When you say all classifications, what do you mean?
Like 5A, D1, D2.
I got you.
4A.
Okay.
'Cause, I mean, you get to that point, yes, there is still a somewhat difference. But by the time you get to that point, it ain't much. There ain't a whole lot of difference.
I don't know. I don't think the 4A D2 champion can even mess with the 4A D1 champion.
I'd beg. Well, it depends. I beg differ. When I'm gonna keep bringing the 17 team up because I thought they were special. PG 17. I believe they would have beat Surratt.
Keyword he just said is special.
I believe,
right.
Yes, they were special. I believe.
Okay, so
they
we're not
would've
talking
beat
about
Surratt.
normal. He said special. All right, and just like I don't believe if you lined South Oak Cliff up against the 5A Division 1, I don't think they'd be able to beat them. But I think that changes at the 6A level.
Who's
5A Division 1?
Oh, you got Kate. No, you're right. I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to beat College Station.
No, they would. Or
You know,
Katie.
I think at the younger class, the smaller classifications, yes. I mean, you look at like Brock and Lorena, and then you look at Gunner and Franklin.
Franklin would smash them.
Franklin.
But Gunner's the bigger school, right? Yeah, Gunner's the Division 1 school. No, they're the Division 2 school. So I mean, at the smaller ones,
Yeah.
I don't know. You get down to some of these schools. I mean, I've heard of Strawn because they made that documentary film about them. Motley County School of Matadors, like that's trash. Like, I don't know. They're ranked number 1 in the state, and I've never heard of them. They need to get a new name, you know. But in these smaller classifications, it's the same teams every year. Shiner, I don't even know where Shiner is, but I could tell you their colors. I can tell you their colors. Yeah, I've heard of Stratford, never heard of Falls City. Lorena High, I don't even know who they're just going to lose because of their name, because they're playing Brock. And then you look at Franklin and Gunner. Everybody's heard of them. Stephenville. Oh, by the way, I was at this Chapel Hill, Austin LBJ game. And Chapel Hill is going to win the state championship possibly 3 years in a row. They started a freshman quarterback, a freshman running back, and a freshman wide receiver. They balled.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about not even like had a good game. Like
Can't even say it out, get it out.
Coach Fuller at Kilgore's got a lot to worry about. He's gonna have some sleepless nights
Oh yeah.
playing. I'm telling you, dude. Keep in mind they're playing the best team in the state, and they look like super seniors out there.
Wow.
Dude, they balled. Did you see the ending of that game? All right, let me play it down for y'all. 7 minutes left to go in this game. Chapel Hill scores, goes for a 2-point conversion, goes up by 9. All right. LBJ gets the ball, goes down the field, scores. There's 3 minutes left. All right. And they go for 2. They don't have a kicker, is what it is. So they go for 2, don't get it. And onside kick, don't get it. Chapel Hill takes the ball. They go down kind of, I think 35, 40-yard line, far enough where they couldn't kick a field goal, punt it. LBJ gets the ball back with like a minute 30 left. Drive the field. There's 6 seconds left on the clock. They got time for 1, possibly 2 plays. This quarterback takes a step back, tosses it up in the air. This wide receiver, I'd be so embarrassed if I was a cornerback, went up, took the ball, and the cornerback tries to like jam his arm through it, and he locks onto this ball, breaks the kid's arm.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and like ripped the ball and like the whole 9 yards, and this kid's arm's dangling, and you're just like, did he just catch that? And then you're like, did he break that kid's arm?
Wow.
Like, I'm telling you, he had the ball just like this, and I mean just like, yeah, because the other kid was like, it looked like he was trying to get the ball, but now in hindsight, he was trying to get his arm out, and headed to the state championship on a jump ball.
Wow.
Wow.
That's the first.
I will say this. Watch this LBJ game. You're about to trip out. You're about to trip out so hard.
Oh, yeah?
These kids don't give a, you know what? Like, I mean, and then you got to watch halftime.
Right there.
You got to watch halftime. Halftime is you're going to love halftime.
Yeah.
All right? But, man, some of this stuff they wear.
I'm not doing it.
So I'm on the sideline. This lady walks by me. She's got these purple sunglasses on. I swear to God, one above her forehead. I'm like, and her boots came up to her butt cheeks.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen anything like this before. And I'm like, I mean, and no zipper on the boots. Like, it took time to get these things on. And I don't know how you get them off. All right. And I'm like, and I'm just like, man, this lady's, that's interesting. And then she comes back by. She's like the drill team coordinator. And like, like the girls do the walk, Well, she was doing it.
Oh, come on. Do that little twitch.
Yeah, the little twitch thing. And I'm like,
Morgan's got a twitch.
Well, she was doing it. And she was enjoying it a little bit more than she probably should have been. Just watch.
She has some fancy in her cup, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny, but man, when they got up, because they were up like 14-0 like that. Oh man, I just knew some fights were about to break out.
Now,
let me tell you, Chapel Hill was not going to win that fight.
Now, what team you say again?
Austin LBJ.
Okay.
Chapel Hill did
cannot.
not want to throw hands with them.
Yeah.
In Austin, they didn't travel well.
Right.
So, from my understanding, that's like an inner city school.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you like they did not travel well, I mean like they did not travel well. I mean, there are more people come to a PG game at the Star than
But if I'm not mistaken, Austin LBG enrollment is pretty small, but they opt up.
Well, they're playing in 5A next year, is what I was told.
Okay.
But I don't know that to be a fact. That's what somebody there told me that covers them.
I got you.
Tyson's saying they beat Liberty Hill. Must have been early in the season because what I saw out of Liberty Hill against Crosby, they looked unbeatable. But anyway, that was a good game. I'm excited about this week. Y'all be sure to watch them. Channel 676 if you're on DirecTV. If you're not, I don't know what to tell you.
Wow. Go to somebody's house that's got DirecTV.
Yep. Or come to the games. It's $20 for an entire day of great football.
Great football.
That's at the Star, right?
Donnie, you can come up. I got a place for Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
You can come up. It's like 4 bedrooms. It's a good time.
I might do that, too.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to do this weekend.
Miami must not be playing.
Miami.
No.
Miami has no bowl game, man.
Look,
Miami's going to a bowl game.
Miami is going to a bowl game. Please don't start, sir.
Are they,
If you don't start the drama,
are they going to the Super Double Bubblegum Bowl game?
Actually
the
going
Cheez-It Bowl.
The Tony the Tiger.
All they need is milk. I already went there.
They're going to a Tony the Tiger Bowl.
The Frosted Flake Bowl.
Where do they play the Tony the Tiger Bowl
El
game?
Paso.
El Paso?
Yeah.
Miami's going to El Paso?
They're going to El Paso.
El Paso has a bowl game?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We got some bowl.
Boy, they better keep them on our side of the border.
That's worse than Shreveport.
Morgan, if you don't stop.
But I would prefer them going to Shreveport. It's not that way.
Boy, hey, all right. So
I thought you were going.
I may go. I haven't decided.
He ain't
He's gonna
driving
go-
to El
look, and
Paso.
he's gonna go to El
No, I will go because just see Miami.
When I saw him, when I first knew I was going to like Donnie, Miami had just got beat by Louisiana Tech.
Yes.
And I didn't really know Donnie, but I was like, man, I can't let this slide. Donnie's down there dressed in like the whole get up.
Mr. 305.
Something else. He's on the field to watch them get beat by Louisiana Tech, and I couldn't let it slide. And then Donnie fires back talking mad, you know what? I was like, all right, I know I'm going to like this movie.
Man.
Hey.
Donnie looked ridiculous. There was a guy at the Hoop Fest game.
Sir, you cannot
Listen.
even talk to me about what Donnie looking ridiculous.
No. Let me tell y'all what Donnie
Donnie
was looking like. We saw a guy at Hoop Fest from New Orleans. He had on the Jordan 1s, basically in Miami colors, and and they were clean. And I was like, Donnie, you like them shoes? And he was like, nah. And then I saw him keep looking at him. and he had on basically, he had on basically a big pressure jumpsuit, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
One leg was like red or yellow, the other leg was green, and then the top, it was the opposite. So like this would be green, this side would be yellow, and Donnie was eyeballing this dude. Like you could tell Donnie thought he looked so clean. That's how Donnie looked at this game. Donnie looked absolutely ridiculous.
Hey, school spirit.
Did you go to Miami?
No.
Oh,
I still
okay.
have school spirit.
Oh, you do great, Donnie.
Hey,
Mr.
man.
305 himself, the
Hey.
mascot. He is the duck.
Hey. Actually, I'm mad because
Miami rainstorms.
I had a mascot head figure deal, but I lost it.
How do you lose something that big?
I don't know. I believe somebody
You
was
had
hating.
a duck head like that
Yes.
that you used to put on your head?
Of course. Game day.
Oh, I found out who put lipstick on your thing a while back. It wasn't her.
Thank you
Was
very
it?
much. I appreciate that much.
Who was it?
I don't even own a tube of
My
lipstick.
daughter did.
You done talk cash money mess. You done talk cash money mess. Accuse me. Thanks, Morgan. I appreciate that. 6 months later,
Yeah.
I'm now out of the hot seat.
I've known that for a while. I just hadn't came up.
Wow.
That's funny. But hey, we're gonna close this show. Hey, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Landon Jackson's gonna be up here tomorrow. He's gonna talk about the decision of leaving LSU and committing to Arkansas. So y'all tune in tomorrow for that. And like Morgan said, hey, tune in to some of these state title games. Hey, you won't be disappointed.
Start today.
I start today.
Start
If you've never watched a 6-man football game, somebody's going to score 100 points today.
Easy.
And they're not going to go D1.
What time does it
And
start?
they're not going to go D1.
11 a.m.'s first game.
I'll be tuned in.
So they'll do two 6-man games and 1A Division 1. If they have Division 1, I don't know.
And I think they started as far as 11-man Division 2 because Mod is close to being 6-man football.
6-man football is fun to watch. I went and watched 8-man
They
football
are.
this
It
year.
is fun.
8-man football. Hey,
I've never seen
Here's the thing about
8-man.
8-man. On 6-man football, if let's just say Brayson McHenry was a quarterback of a 6-man football team and give him, I don't know, put Braylon on the same team.
Yeah.
Man, they'd score 150 points a game.
Easy.
And I'm not
Right.
even joking.
Yeah, easy.
Right.
Hey, with that being said, hey, make sure y'all like and share this live feed and congratulate some of these kids who got these amazing
Absolutely.
awards.
Man, be happy for these kids. Shout them out. We're going to post the
Major
artwork here in a little bit. Be sure to share it, please.
Major accomplishments.
And with that being said, this is the best sports morning show on this side of heaven because my mama said so.
You